This podcast is part of the Robots Radio Rocket Club, a program designed to help all podcasts reach their full potential. For information about joining the Robots Radio Rocket Club, check out robotsradio.net.
Welcome to the Final Fantasy Lorecast, a podcast dedicated to the history and lore of the Final Fantasy series. Join us as we take a deep dive into the different worlds, characters, and so much more. Welcome back, Warriors of Light, to another episode of the Final Fantasy Lorecast. I am one of your hosts, Ben of Temeria, followed by my two other hosts, Steven.
What's up?
And Trey.
Hello.
And with this week, as we said last week, we are continuing our journey with the crystals and figured out it is Final Fantasy 6 through 11 is the crystals we are going through today. And there's a lot to talk about because this is where we start seeing the variety of how crystals become. Instead of being, a single plot point device, now they're going to be much more different. Is the word.
I was going to say, in some games, they're not even crystals that are more just kind of like Final Fantasy VII, for instance. They're not necessarily crystals, but they're materia. It's not quite the same, but it's in the same vein enough that it's all getting lumped into the crystal lorecast that we're doing today.
Yes, exactly. So, to kick things off, we have Final Fantasy VI. So, when an Esper dies, it remains crystallized into magicite, and appears as glowing shards of green crystal, in contrast to magic extracted from live espers via Magitech. Magic is taught naturally and is much of a higher potency using magicite. So essentially, when an esper dies, you get a crystal, which you can then use for magical properties. So,
and an esper is like a summon, right? I don't remember.
So in 6, you have I think it's called the Warring Triads. It's three gods that can do magic, and they are the ones who, when they had the War of the Magi, they had innocent humans and they gave them like powers and turned them into espers. And then when the war was over, they kind of sealed themselves away and I think took the power from the espers. And then in 6, Kefka and them are bringing them back. So espers come from the Warring Triad. They made them with their magic for the Magi War.
Okay.
And then, using magicite, the Returners wield magic to fight the Gestalian Empire on its own terms for a time before the Empire is decimated by the Espers. The Empire abandons Magitech in favor of magicite in preparation to invade the Esper homeworld and seize the Warring Triad, a trio of petrified deities. After the Imperial General and the Magitech Knight Kefka revives the Warring Triad and absorbs the power, it becomes the source of all magic in the world. Thus, upon his defeat, espers, magicite, and magic disappear. As what Trey went over, literally all that stuff of war.
Yeah.
And Magitech is interesting because it's like magic technology, which we will get into the next game. So we have Final Fantasy VII, which is...
Does it sound like 16 too, though, before we move on? Like, using magic
a little bit, yeah.
to... I feel like if you played 16, that sounds a little familiar.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and this is having magic and technology collide with each other is a common theme in the later entries into the series, I think. I mean, we have 16, we have 15 has a bit of it, 14, 7, and so forth. I mean, there's plenty of... 13 has a giant mass load of Magitech, so it's all
the
entire
it's really
world is.
It's really just 9, and that's kind of it that doesn't have any of that kind of stuff. It's really the only one out of the later
Yep.
releases.
And I mean, it's also with the franchise being modernized and like broadening its horizons with other players.
Yeah, because
more
the
than
first
just
5 were all medieval fantasy, right?
Yep,
And then
high
6
fantasy.
was steampunk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. So with 7, the crystallized form of Mako is also known as materia, and a nod to the crystals of past. The materia allows the user to control magic spells, summons, which boost the statistics and adds extra commands. 2 exceptionally powerful materia pieces are the white materia and the black materia. And then Sephiroth seeks the black materia to summon Meteor to strike the planet, while Eris tries to stop him by using the white materia to summon Holy, the ultimate white magic spell. And there are also 4 rare natural materias called found in materia caves: Knights of the Round, Mime, HP to MP, and Quadra Magic, and then said to be powerful due to being in secluded areas and have been given time to grow and collect. There are also 4 huge materia colors: red, blue, yellow, and green. And if you play the Final Fantasy VII, the original and the remake, you see all this, except for the black and white materia, because the 7 remake doesn't go that far in the story yet.
Yeah.
Because it's only
Well,
Midgard.
You don't see any of the rare ones.
Well, you don't see the rare ones either, because you're only in Midgard and the rare ones are outside of Midgard. Just wait
So
till
this change was huge for me.
Rebirth.
Well, we'll probably get a little bit there too.
But I feel like this change was huge for me and huge for the world. And like, instead of it being these crystals that you had the chosen warrior stuff, this was like the live stream. And for me, the parallels with oil being the eco terrorist, it all just seemed to make the Final Fantasy world a lot more believable, a lot more livable. You know, as much as you can with Tonberries and Moogles and stuff running around.
Yeah.
But I really appreciated the way they were able to blend it all together with the materia, and just have the whole system work around it. It really was the live stream for the game.
No, I agree. This 7 was the entry that really pushed the Final Fantasy series more towards a bigger audience, especially with, you know, everybody here in the U.S. that where we're located in. 7 was majority of everybody's first Final Fantasy for the U.S., thanks to the original PlayStation. So, and the other ones, I mean, they were out, but like not everybody owned a Super NES or an NES.
Right.
Final Fantasy VII was the first game since Mario where it was like you bought the console to play that game.
Yep.
For me, and that was the way it was back then for a lot of people. The 64 was a lot more popular, but you bought the PlayStation because you wanted to play Final Fantasy VII.
That's exactly why I did it. Yeah, because I was always Nintendo. Like, I had the 64 and all the games on there, and then as soon as I tried out 7 at my friend's house, I was like, oh, I got to get a PlayStation. I've never even heard of this before, but I got to get one. And that's what I got first, was 7 and 9, and then had me hooked ever since.
Yep. Sadly,
I love how you leave out 8.
Yeah, exactly.
Sadly, I can't say anything because I never owned an original PlayStation. I had an Xbox, the original Xbox, and all the Xbox consoles. And
you're a little younger than us, though, aren't you? How old are you?
I'm 29.
Are you? Okay. Yeah, you're not even 30 yet.
I'm not that much younger than you. So.
I mean, 6 years is a big difference.
Yeah, I mean, you're only 2.
When it comes to video games, like, I feel like 6 years is a big difference.
Depending on the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, but to get back on track, I loved the way it worked on Final Fantasy VII, even though they went away from the crystals as a whole, and they turned it into the live stream and materia. I think that was the right choice, and I'm glad they decided to mix it up.
Oh, yeah. And then 3 of the 4 huge materias correspond to matching color materia. Master Summon, Master Command, and Master Magic can be acquired from red, yellow, and green huge materia. If the player has mastered all materia shards of that type, the huge materia's appearance is a homage to the elemental crystals of the early entries.
I'll be honest, I've never done that. I've played the game a lot, and I've never done that. That's some commitment right there.
And then we have Crisis Core, which is Final Fantasy VII as well. It was one of the side games that we have that takes place before the events of 7. So during the first battle with Zack at the Neheb reactor, Sephiroth can summon 4 colored crystals to a system. The crystals are identical in appearance to the 4 huge materia found in Final Fantasy VII. In a locked chamber in the Banoria Underground, Zack Fair was entered into a battle with green materia, red materia, yellow materia, and blue materia. They cast elemental magic, and the corresponding coloring corresponds to the 5 typical materia colors. The Banoria Underground caves are full of crystals due to the proximity to the life stream. The goddess materia is a large natural materia. Genesis Respardos seeks to cure his degradation. And Zack can also equip materia for various effects in battle. So,
I didn't play this one either. I just saw about it.
I played bits and pieces
I watched
of it.
it on YouTube.
But you can actually go and play the remake of the Crisis Core, which is now on PS4, Steam, PS5, Xbox. It's on Xbox.
Wasn't the original on PSP?
Yes, it was.
It was, and I got a
PSP
PSP for it, and I remember playing it. I got most of the way through and got stuck on a boss and never beat it.
Yeah, never had a PS.
But I did end up watching it years later.
I had a PSP. I played bits and pieces from a friend's copy, but I mainly played and sunk my entire life into Monster Hunter on that console. So, thank you, Capcom. Anyway, now we have Final Fantasy VIII. So, the Crystal Pillar is a gigantic crystal believed to have originated from the moon. The monsters in the world originate from the moon, and the crystal is responsible for summoning them to the planet by creating a strong energy field. It reacts to a certain location on the planet, creating a single signal that directs the lunar cry towards it. Thus, the crystal acts as a malevolent force. Which I think is the first time in the series where the crystal is the quote-unquote like antagonist-esque figure.
Yeah. It's more a means to an end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's just a tool that the villain uses.
Yeah, I don't have a lot. I guess it's a good thing they added the crystal in just to kind of keep the theme going. But, I mean, for me, this is probably the weakest use of the crystals so far in the series that we've talked about for me.
I mean,
it's literally just it's the thing they sing to make the moon monsters come down.
Yep, it's essentially a MacGuffin.
Yeah.
Hey, how can we fill this plot hole? Oh, we'll use a giant crystal.
Well, it's nice because they don't always fill their plot holes. It's a lot of plot holes empty.
And most things in media.
True.
So now we jump to Final Fantasy IX. So this is the one that they all keep telling me to play, and I still need to play. So the crystal is the origin of life in the universe, marking a new iteration of the series' use of crystals as the force that sustains the game's worlds. Final Fantasy IX calls back to the many aspects of the early series, and the crystal represents the origin and interconnectedness of all life. The term crystal may refer to the planets, individual crystals, or the origin crystal at the crystal world. Though the planet crystals are mainly represented in abstractions, and the crystal world crystal only appears briefly, the crystal is one of the game's main motifs and ties the main theme of life and death, and appears in the logo art. Small gemstones are also featured as consumable items and accessories, and house the essence of eidolons.
Yeah, it's really like pretty much just at the end. It just gets a like quick, hey, this is the reason for this such and such. I won't say anything because I don't want to spoil it for you, since I want you to play it still. But it's not a huge, despite it being on the cover art, it's not something that comes up a lot during the game itself.
Yeah,
But
it's important. I think it's more important than 8, but it's relevant for about as long.
Yeah.
Well, that's good to know because now that this is striking me wanting to play a little bit more, that it takes homage to the earlier series when it's like newer ish.
It is.
Oh yeah, it is a love letter to the earlier games. It's perfection.
I'm replaying it right now and just remembering how much I love it. It's such a good game. We need you to play it, Ben.
All right, I will start it this weekend. Okay, I have it. I have I think at this point, I have all the mainline series games on my PlayStation, thanks to the Pixel Collection, the remasters of 9 and 8 on the PlayStation Store, and I rebought the remaster of 7. And I have all the physical versions of all the other games that they had physically. Because
when you do play 9, just don't expect a lot of crystals.
Well, that's fair.
It's not going to come up a lot.
I mean, 15 didn't have many crystals, so
it's important.
No, and they don't come up a lot in 10 either, but they are a lot more prevalent in the story.
Well, that's fair.
I don't know, but I'll talk about it when we get to 10 because I think they're pretty important and constantly being shoved down your throat.
Yeah. But before we get to 10, we are going to take a quick mid-break, and we will be right back.
What if I told you you only have 12 hours to legally have sex?
To finding true love, or just like a good guy.
From the director of Easy A and Anyone But You.
This whole thing is nuts.
There's nothing traditional about this night.
On August 7th, the clock starts on the summer's biggest rom-com.
I'm Owen.
Allie.
What about you and me?
Monica Barbaro, Callum Turner.
I've been told I'm a 7.
By who? Your mom?
No, she thinks I'm a 10.
One night only. Rated R. Only in theaters August 7th.
Tomorrow morning is knocking. Stock your fridge now. How about a creamy mocha frappuccino drink? Or a sweet vanilla? Smooth caramel maybe? Or a white chocolate mocha? Whichever you choose, delicious coffee awaits. Find Starbucks Frappuccino drinks wherever you buy your groceries.
All right, welcome to the middle of the show where we talk about everything with the podcast that has nothing to do with the lore of Final Fantasy. And at this point, I just want to thank everybody who is listening to our episodes. It really helps us and supports us. And if you do want to support us, you can first off, you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/Final Fantasy Lorecast, to where you can get ad-free episodes or even have a chance to join us once a month on the show of your topic of your choosing. We can talk about anything with the games, the animes, the series as a whole. Anything you want to talk about, we can talk about it. You can also support us through Apple and Spotify. If you leave a 5-star review with some words, we'll read it out loud on the show. And as well, on Spotify, you can leave a comment on each episode. And we actually do have a comment this week. Let me get to it real quick. We have on our first episode, so Meet the Host, from Jeremy Scott, wonderful content. I love Final Fantasy. My first game was Final Fantasy 15, and now I've played several. So glad I found this one. I listened to the Resident Evil and Legend of Zelda Lorecast as well. Great job, guys. Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you.
I hope he didn't hate our comments about 15 too much.
I know, right?
I mean, hopefully he plays the other games and he realizes that while 15 probably is fantastic, it left a lot to be desired.
Yeah.
That is one word to put it. And then if you want to chat with us, you can find us on a few Discords. There is the Robots Radio Discord, which is the host network that we are a part of on robotsradio.net. And I'm also have my own Discord called Ben and Friends Podcasting, to where I have channels for all the shows I host, this show, Holocron Histories, and even the Wizarding World Lorecast, where you can join us on there, chat with us with anything of my shows or anything at all if you want. And you can even, if you like Final Fantasy and if you play 14, we are getting a free company put together to play 14 together if you want to play Final Fantasy.
Ben, is the equivalent of coming in on 15 as your first and it being like your favorite, would that be like saying, oh man, I love The Witcher, I just started with season 3 and it's the greatest thing ever? Is that like the equal? Is that the equal comparison?
I'm not going to get into that because that's a whole side tangent on itself. Season 3 is good if you compare it to season 2.
Oh, so what you're saying is it would have been better if I would have said they started with season 2 and loved season 2.
Season 2 is dreadful. I despised it with a passion because that's okay. I'm not going to get on that tangent. Anyway, that's where you can find us on the Discords, Ben and Friends Podcasting, the Robots Radio. Is there anything else you guys want to add into the mid break? No? All right. Let's get back to it.
Traditional home security only alerts you after a break-in, and that's too late. SimpliSafe is changing that.
Stop. This is SimpliSafe. Police are on the way.
We don't just alert, we stop crime before it starts. SimpliSafe, plan starting around $1 a day. Save 50% on your new system with professional monitoring at simplisafe.com/Spotify or with promo code Spotify.
Outdoor deterrence requires a SimpliSafe Active Guard outdoor protection plan starting at $49.99 a month. Visit simplisafe.com/licenses for alarm license information. Tennessee 2012.
All right, now that we're back, we are now jumping into Final Fantasy X. So this is also where things get a little different, just like how 7 did.
I will say before you get started on it, you remember we teased last week? I was like, I feel like there's one that doesn't really have a lot of it, like maybe at all. I was talking about 10.
Oh, okay.
As I read the notes, I was only halfway wrong. It maybe not. It maybe doesn't have none of it, but it's probably the least, other than maybe 8.
Okay.
They take some real liberties with crystals in these definitions here.
Yeah, that does. And to remind everyone, 10 is the one with Titus, and Blitzball. If you like Blitzball. And if no one knows, last week Steven said he hates Blitzball with a passion. So
I do. I can't stand it.
It was great in its time, but it has not aged well.
Might be my least favorite Final Fantasy minigame of all time.
Oh,
and there's some pretty rough ones out there.
9's card game is it for me.
I like 9's card game. But that's because I haven't played 8's, which is apparently way better.
Aces. It's top tier stuff, man.
If only the rest of the game was as good.
Mini games. Oh no.
Right.
That's dreadful for me.
That's a whole nother episode.
Anyway, so we have spheres, which are round crystalline objects used for various purposes in the world of Spira, and contain various magical energies provided the pyroflies embedded in them, allowing them to act as keys, contain memories, and even record events that can be viewed like a movie. They also symbolically represent the game's theme of cycles. And just prior to the series of final boss fights, Titus and company are warped to a bizarre spinning room called Sin the Nucleus. Within the nucleus, Titus must avoid crystal spikes and grabbing 10 glowing teleporting crystals, each of which bestows either powerful spheres or weapons. Once all 10 are attained, the player is teleported to the Dream's End for the final battle.
It's definitely the most annoying part of the game, is because the camera constantly rotates while you're trying to get these things and avoid other things. And again, that's a very loose, like, yeah, there's crystals, but it's not really like Final Fantasy crystals, but I see what they're going for here.
And then a larger crystal appears in Luca. There is a statue in the round sphere where a clear crystal is sitting. As the player walks closer, the camera focuses on the crystal. The crystal cup is handed to the Besaid Oroch. The what?
Besaid Oroch.
That, yes. By Waka, if the team wins the Blitzball tournament. So you have to win the Blitzball tournament to get this crystal cup.
God bless you if you have the patience for that. In that first one, if you can do that. Oh.
And then when the Magnus sisters perform a Delta attack, they surround the enemy party in 8 crystals, 4 of blue hue and 4 of red-orange hue. These refer to Final Fantasy IV, where they were the 4 blue crystals of the surface world and the 4 red-orange crystals of the underground.
Yeah. See, this is like very... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, go on.
I was just saying, this is why I feel like it's very loosely considered a crystal. I mean, even the spheres and the pyreflies, which that's why I was saying earlier, like they definitely shove pyreflies down your throat throughout the game. You hear about those stupid things, and they're constantly floating around. Like when you rub your eyes too hard, you see those little dots and stuff. You just see pyreflies all throughout.
Let me make sure I've got this right. You got pyreflies, and they're like they come from after you die, your body turns into pyreflies, and then if you get enough of them, they can come together to form a sphere that is a crystal type thing.
Yeah.
And for you, that's not good.
It's essentially the
solid enough. Right. I was going to say, for me, I feel like it's
it's a life.
I feel like it's the same as Final Fantasy VII, just a different coat of paint.
Yeah. I didn't bring it up earlier when you were talking about 7, but I didn't love the live stream either. But that's just me. I like the more traditional.
I mean, they're both from 7 to 10. It's both different. Like with 7, you have Mako, which is more of a oil type of substance because they mine it.
Yeah.
And then with 10, you have the pyreflies, which are living creatures that become crystals.
Well, if you were disappointed in the amount of crystals from 7 to 10, when we get to 11, I don't think you'll be disappointed anymore.
Yeah, that's true. But we do have Final Fantasy X-2, because this is the first game that actually had a legitimate sequel. Dress spheres allow one to use the memories within the sphere to unleash associated powers. That was it. It's essentially a power-up. Hey, you want to use a power that you don't have? Here you go.
Yeah. Honestly, I thought it was going to be an alternate attire.
I know when you say dress spheres, it's like, oh, you can change your outfit on the fly.
I mean, it does, yeah, pretty much, right? I played it.
I don't remember.
A long time ago. I think it changes your appearance slightly, but I don't remember.
It should. If it doesn't,
it would make sense. Yeah,
it's roughly dress spheres are similar to a drop system they tend to had.
Before we move on, though, you're right. It is weird that with 9 being the love letter it is to, like the first 6 games, they don't really incorporate crystals. I know, like we know what, we know, but it's kind of weird that they don't play a bigger overall role in the story. Like they get no screen time at all.
I mean, you do use the gems to learn the different summons throughout the game, but it's other than that, which is not really brought up much. No, I guess it is. I mean, even with at the beginning, whenever they have the different pendants for the cities or the countries, it's like each specific country's gem, you know? I think those are somewhat supposed to be.
That's probably a nice nod to the crystals.
Yeah.
See, yeah. I don't know what they're talking about because I need to play 9.
I mean, it's pretty early on that you see. It's like within the first 30 minutes you learn.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
But with that, we are now going to Final Fantasy XI, which is the first ever MMO RPG of the Final Fantasy series. And I thought it didn't do well, but before the show, we looked it up, and it was actually a very successful hit to where it's still an ongoing game on PC.
Financially, it was successful, yeah.
Yes, financially it's successful. Was it successful for, like, player base? Yeah, debatable.
Financially, they made their money, but I don't think critically it did very well.
Yeah.
That I remember.
Yeah, I don't recall 11 getting the best of feedback compared to how 14 is nowadays. But
it was limited in its day.
Oh yeah,
but it was a nice stepping stone for 14.
It came out for everybody listening, Final Fantasy XI, the MMO, which MMOs were a hard thing to do back in the day, came out in 2002 on the PS2 in Japan. The PS2, a system that barely ran online games.
That's 2 years before World of Warcraft.
There you go. And World of Warcraft's only PC. But they ran this game through the PS2, and it was crossplay with Windows PC. So you had 2 systems it was on, crossplayed. And then it came to the Xbox 360 in 2003, a year later. And the PS2 and 360 versions of the games didn't end service until 2016. 14 years later.
And I mean, it might not have been successful, but they definitely utilized the crystals.
They utilized it, and they used it as a very great foundation for now one of the most critically acclaimed MMOs they have in period. If out of all MMOs, and this is a little side tangent, out of all MMOs, the 3 main ones are World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy XIV, and Elder Scrolls Online. I would say are the 3 main MMOs to this day. And all 3 are very successful and have very well-played player bases and constantly growing.
Yeah.
WoW's up and down because it depends on the expansion. They're literally an up and down roller coaster as a community, player base wise. ESO and 14 though keeps going up every year. But I digress. The WoW's problem. But with 11, we have different types of crystals. So we have synthesis crystals. So crystals are common and are used in item synthesis, sometimes found in when the adventurer kills enemies, and with the status effects Signet, Sanction, or Sigil active, and there's a crystal for every element. The adventurer can also give crystals to gate guards of their nation to aid in the nation's development. In return, the adventurer is rewarded with rank points, which are sometimes needed to receive new missions from their nation. There are 8 types of main types of crystals, with each element corresponding to different crafting tasks, and each are found in the auction house under the category crystals. I'm just going to read off the crystals, not telling you what they do because it doesn't really matter. You have fire, earth, water, wind, ice, lightning, light, and dark. So,
the usual suspects.
The usual suspects of elements that you would use for magic in-game. And then you have proto-crystals. So 6 proto-crystals serve as a gateway to 6 sleeping gods: Shiva, Brahmu, Titan, and Garuda. That's only 4.
I was just about to say.
It's like, it says 6, but when I researched it, I just realized that's only 4. But obviously the other one would be, the other 2 would Ifrit and that one.
Or Leviathan. Yeah, it probably didn't have Leviathan. It's not brought up as often as the other ones.
Which is sad because Leviathan's a really cool summon / primal, and he's barely used ever.
It's my favorite part of 15 was the Leviathan.
I think we're gonna get some DLC with 16's Leviathan.
Ooh.
Fingers crossed.
So the
But these are located in the cloister. Or go ahead.
Oh, okay.
I was getting what you were saying.
So the proto crystals are located in the following areas. So the cloister flames, frost, gales, storm, tides, and tremor. And each have their own respective den in those cloisters. So you have Ifrit, which is fire. Frost is Shiva. Gales is... Wait, Gales and
Garuda.
Storms. What's Storms? Oh, Storms would be Ramu. Ramu or Rama? How you say his name?
Rama?
I say Rama.
Rama. Tides would be Leviathan. And Tremors is Titan. So, okay, yeah, they do have Leviathan in there. I mean, which makes sense because, so if you post-game of base game 14, you do eventually come across Leviathan. Majority of all the summons, like the major, like primal summons, are in 14, and he's massive.
They're all in 9. There's even some extra ones in 9.
It's just another excuse for me to go play 9. I see how it is.
Yeah,
well played, good sir.
So, just from that. Steven here is with all the 9 comments. I'm here with all the 14 comments. So we also have telepoints and gate crystals. So in modern day Vanadel, 6 telepoints exist in the forms of crystals. In the Shadowrain era, 3 additional teleports exist that have since been destroyed. And when the adventurer first examines a teleport, they receive a gate crystal, a key item needed to be to be teleported to that specific teleport via teleport and recall spells. The following are locations and teleport spells associated with each teleport. Existing teleports in present day Vanadel. So I'm just gonna go over the spells, not the locations.
There's just a bunch of them.
There's a bunch. So there's teleport Hala, teleport May, teleport Dim, teleport Altep, teleport Yost, and teleport Vazi. And then the destroyed teleports are Recall Junger, Recall Marif, and Recall Fosh. Yeah, that. I mean, the reason I'm only like going through like the crystals and the teleport stuff is 11, and 11's now only on PC, which... You can still go play 11, for sure. You can totally go do that, but I don't know many people that actually went back to play 11.
I know we'll talk about it next week, but this really sounds like 12's fast travel system with the crystals.
Yeah, it does. Oh, it didn't.
And having not played 11, I don't really know anything about it, but to me, that's what it really sounds like. Because 12, there's a big ass crystal, and you walk up to it and hit X, and there you go.
Yeah.
And then now we have Magicite. So this returns from 8, if I recall. Was it 8? That was 8, right?
No, 6.
6. One, the first one we went over. So Magicite was unusual crystal deposits found in Beastmen strongholds, near destroyed portions of the crystal lines, large conduits that connect the crags of Hala, May, and Dim. So... And then we have mother crystals. So the mother crystals are 5 shards of the original that is said to have created the gods, which are shattered into 5 pieces, fed away the emptiness. Which next week's episode, you will hear mother crystals a lot. or at least a few times. Specifically 14 and then 16.
Oh, are we talking about 16 next week?
Yeah, but we're not going to, like, we'll have a spoiler warning, so if people don't want to,
I mean, Ben can't.
Also
Ben ain't going to be able to. He don't know. He don't know.
Hey, you're going to spoil it for yourself.
I'm okay with spoilers. It's fine. I think I have 16 in the show notes. I might not. I can't remember if I put that in there. I'm pretty sure I did, though. Or I might not have, because it's newer. I don't remember.
I would just like to go on record. I vote not spoiling it for Ben if he hasn't finished it yet.
But we're a
if
lore
he didn't
cast.
already. That's true.
But anyway, then
we've had all the other games spoiled for us.
That's true. Just bits and pieces, but still.
Yeah.
And then we have orbs. So another recurring thing from previous games. Orbs are exotic gems that, when cast into burning circles in certain areas, grant access to the burning circle notorious monster fights. Orbs are sold by Shami in Port Gino, but only accepts payments in the forms of Beastman seals or kindred seals. So this exactly sounds like the Beast Tribe quest system they have in 14, where you have to do specific side quests to get a currency, then trade those currency to get specific items. It's an MMO thing. It's all it is. Go play MMO. You'll have this type of system somewhere. I haven't played WoW and never will play WoW. I have a strong feeling they have way too many of this. That's just me thinking out loud. Anyway, then we also have the Seed Crystal. An ancient crystal plays a key plot role in the Final Fantasy XI, a crystalline prophecy ode to life bestowing. And that's
cool.
That's all we got from 11.
That's it, huh?
Yep, and it looks like... Okay, so the Crystalline Prophecy was one of the first 3 downloadable scenario add-ons for Final Fantasy XI, released in 2009. So this released 7 years after the game was first came out.
Golly.
That is a lot. And it sold for $10 per, part. So,
I mean, how long's Elder Scrolls been out? Why, like, they still do all the other games.
ESO has been out for at least a decade. I think it's been at least a decade. Or no, I don't think it's. Where's this year? Is the 10-year?
There's also Star Wars Old Republic as well. We didn't bring up earlier, but it's not that.
I mean, it's still
active.
popular, and it still has a high player count because I play it. Okay, ESO's 9 years, so next year's the 10th anniversary. And then this year is the 10th anniversary for 14, and it is also last year was the 10th anniversary for Star Wars: The Old Republic.
All right, I know we said for you to play 9, but Steve, you got to back me on this, man. Ben, if you don't beat 16, you're going to get the entire thing spoiled for you because crystals play a pivotal role. So,
I mean, it's nothing like where if he finds out, it's going to be like, oh, well, what's the point of playing this anymore? There's nothing really like that in the game.
You're right. It won't ruin everything, I guess, for you, but it'll ruin the story. It'll ruin the story because that's the main.
Okay, so the only thing I have literally one little bullet point for 16. I barely have anything on it.
Perfect. We'll
and I think it's because I don't think they even had. So for everyone listening, you can see where I get my sources in the show notes, and I get it. I get partial stuff from the wiki and online and whatnot, and the wiki doesn't really have a whole lot for crystals for 16 because 16's only been out. Well, it's been out for a couple months now, but when I was doing show notes together for this, there was people weren't posting anything because they didn't want things spoiled.
Yeah.
So thank you, people who write things on the wiki.
Appreciate you doing all the hard work for us.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes. Without wiki, I wouldn't be able to do a lot of my shows because trying to find research on half this stuff is like, without the wiki is nigh impossible unless you play it yourself.
12, 13, 14.
They could have saved themselves some
games.
time.
We have 5 games to cover next week. That's not bad.
And some side ones. I did put some side ones in
we
there.
do have some side ones on there.
Like type
Good old
zeros
13.
in there. 13s. 2 and 3 for 13. We have type 0, which I have and I want to play, but I never had a chance to play it. So yeah, crystals make a real role in those. And we could touch a little bit about the manga of Lost Stranger. Crystals play a part in that, but like very, very seldom compared to the games.
We need to carve out at least 45 minutes for you to talk about 14 next week. We know it's coming up.
Yeah, 14 has a lot of info for crystals because that's the entire storyline until next year has literally been about a crystal.
Oh, terrific.
We don't hear
which we won't dive into the entire story or barely like anything like that.
Oh no. We don't hear near enough about 14 on this show. We need to hear more about it.
We don't? Oh my gosh.
We definitely. Yeah, I'm going to do my best to avoid as much of the spoilers as possible for 14 because I'm playing it and I like it. I'm getting fairly familiar with the controls, so hopefully next week nothing too bad gets ruined.
Yeah, you press right trigger and then you press X or circle or square.
So with 14, it actually is not as. It's only like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bullet points. That's it. More.
I've leveled up enough there, Steve. I have 5 skills I have to have in rotation. Thank you very much.
Okay, I got 4 at the moment. Well, no, I have 5.
What level are you?
I want to say I'm like 13.
Okay, so you're not far from behind Trey. I think when I saw Trey online, it was 15.
Oh, I was booking it.
That was my second one. I've got one that's, I think, 28.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, what were you playing earlier?
Lancer. I wanted something that did damage because I've been playing Conjurer.
Oh, okay. Well, you're only 2 levels
away from getting
White Mage.
This is all stuff for after the show. We don't need to talk about my playing habits. But if you want to come play with me, Ben, and Steve, we are on the what is it, Seraph server?
This is Seraph server. Yep. On 14.
So come join us on there.
Yep. Join us there. Help us make a free company and play Final Fantasy because that is the only game that we could actually play Final Fantasy together. So.
Yeah, I mean, we can also go over 9. We have a group chat. We can talk about 9 while we're playing.
Yeah, but I meant like the community, Steve.
When we get off here, we're gonna have a discussion about 9.
But anyway, with that being said, that is the end of this week's episode. Join us next week when we go over the rest of the Final Fantasy series with crystals, and I guess we'll see where we go after. Oh wait, I think we do have. I just haven't made show notes, but we're going to go over magic after the crystals, which is another endeavor because each game has its own form of magic.
Yeah. It's a little bit more in your face than crystals are, I think, in every single game. So.
Oh, yeah. Because you actually use it in combat, which is fantastic. But yeah, that's what we have coming up on the show for the next following weeks. So thank you for listening to the Final Fantasy Lorecast, and may the crystals guide you. Thank you for listening to the Fantasy Lorecast. You can find us on the Robots Radio Discord at robotsradio.net. You can find us on Twitter at FFLorecast, and you can email us at fflorecast@gmail.com.